My name is Cosmas Kilambio. I'm the county head, Vihiga. Thank you. Of Vihiga County.
Of what?
ODPP, sorry.
Yes.
Morning all. My name is David Ndege, head of ODPP Murang'a County.
Good morning, everyone. The name is Tom Ogweno. I'm a headquarter person based in IQA. I'm heading the Division of Complaints and Compliments.
We have forgotten to say that you are a deputy director as well. Please also state your title, if you have one.
I am a deputy director, and I thank the DPP for that. Thank you.
Good morning. Solomon Jeru is my name, end of Kisii County on DPP. SNDPP anyway.
Good morning all. My name is Eusebia Zomoria, head of ODPP Meru. Designation as a DPP.
Good morning. My name is Abdusalam Bore, Prosecution Counsel at Anti-Money Laundering and Asset Forfeiture Division, Headquarters.
Good morning. My name is Linda Dambiri, heading the Children Division within the ODPP. I'm a prosecutor, yes.
Linda was recently inducted in the Hall of Fame of top 100 women lawyers in Africa. Please, let's clap for her.
Good morning. My name is Joyce Momo, ADPP head Siaya County.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Odwar, an Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions in charge of ODPP Homa Bay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kerubo Violet, Senior Assistant Director of Public Prosecution, Deputy Ed Regional and County Affairs Department, and I'm the Ed, the Regional and County Prosecution Services Division.
Good morning. My name is Agatha Mkongo, in charge ODPP Tana River County. I'm a PPC.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Edna Ntabo, PPC, Judicial Review Division.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Birir, in charge ODPP Lamo, Assistant Director Public Prosecution.
Sopa. My name is Gitonga Olemoranga from Narok. Thank you. I'm an Assistant Deputy Director of Public Prosecution.
What do you do in Narok, Mr.
I'm the head Gitonga? I'm sorry, my apologies. I'm the head of county there.
Good morning, everyone. Evelyn Odunga, in charge Kiambu County. I'm Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions.
In charge of ODPP County.
Good morning. My name is Benjamin Kelwon, PPC, Ed Trans Nzoia County, ODPP.
Habari ya asubuhi. Mimi naitwa Paul William Ocheng kutoka from the Homicide Division, Prosecution Council.
Good morning. My name is Bernard Ngetich, and I'm the in charge of ODPP Kirinyaga County, and I'm Assistant Director of Public Prosecution.
Good morning. My name is Sonye Habat Okumu. My designation, I'm Assistant Director Public Prosecution, based at the headquarters and Head Speech and Electoral Division. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Wasike, PPC, Head of Turkana County, ODPP.
Jambo. Mimi naitwa Joseph Kimambi, Nimesimamia eneo la Pwani, that is a coastal region. Mimi ni makamu kiongozi wa mashtaka ya umma.
Unasimamia nini huko Pwani?
Mashtaka ya umma.
Asante.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Ayodo. I'm a Deputy Director, Public Prosecution, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. I'm the Regional Coordinator of Western.
Good morning. I'm Gitenya Omwega. I'm in charge of Raw Eastern. I am, to comply with what the MC wants, I am a Deputy Director of Public Prosecution in charge of Lower Eastern.
Good morning. My name is Lillian Oriako from Lawyers Without Borders, aspiring PC.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Makoha, Deputy Director Audit, in charge of Audit and Risk Management Division. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mercy Mule. I'm from the DCI headquarters, Legal and Crime Affairs.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marceli Cole from Migori County, in charge ODPP Migori County.
Good morning, everyone. Jennifer Kaniu from ODPP Nyeri, PPC.
Good morning, everyone. Jalson Makori, Deputy Director under the Civil and Human Rights Division.
Gentleman behind there.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Kimani is my name. In charge Samburu County, ODPP. Designation is ADPP. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Okumu, Advisor, Corporate Image.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chitsama Ligami, in charge of my house. But I'm currently stationed at the ODPP JKIA.
You are stationed at JKIA as what? As a suspect or as a...
I'm a prosecution counsel at JKIA.
My name is Edgar Mulamula, Regional Head, Northeastern Region. My designation is Deputy Director.
You have left something. Deputy Director of what, and what are you doing there?
Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. I'm the head of the region, Northeastern Region. That's okay?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Musioki, in charge of DPP Makueni County. I'm SADPP.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine Gakofo, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, in charge of training and Deputy Head Prosecution Training Institute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Kichana, an SADPP in Regional and County Affairs Department, heading the prosecution, Delegated Prosecution Division.
Good morning. My name is Jenny Mahari, Deputy Director, Public Prosecutions, in charge of Central Region.
Morning. My name is Brenda Nando, PPC at the Counter Trafficking in Persons Division, and I'm standing in for Ms. Linda Mwamburi, who's the head of the Counter Trafficking in Persons Division.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Mburugu, Designation Assistant Director of Public Prosecution, County Head ODPP, Marsabit County, largest county by landmass.
Good morning. Mediatrix Rapando is my name. Deputy Director, Human Resource Management. I am in charge of Human Resource Management at ODPP. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruby Okoth, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, in charge of Research and Legal Analysis Division. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorcas Rugut, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, in charge Nairobi region.
Good morning, everyone. Lucas Tanuis, my name, designation as ADPP, head ODPP Uasin Gishu, Eldoret, City of Champions.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vera Omolo Hamisi, Deputy Director, Arap Mashamba, stroke in charge, Land and Environment. Thank you.
Be careful, we call you other names associated with what you have just said. Eh?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Masi Gateru. I'm a Deputy Director, Public Prosecutions, and in charge of the Anti-Corruption Division.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jen Chege. I'm a Deputy Director, Finance at ODPP. I'm the one who heads the Finance Division. And we appreciate for the donors, and our partners, for the continued support you are giving to our office. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ebi Maswai Cheriot, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. I currently serve as the head of the Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Division. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Jackson Motende, SADPP, head of ODPP Machakos County.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Karuri, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, currently in charge of Nyanza region as Regional Coordinator. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anne Penny Gakomo. I'm in charge, I'm an Assistant Director of Prosecution Services, in charge of prosecution in the Rakanidi County.
Good morning. I'm Grace Mukangu, Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions and in charge of Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Good morning. Esther Kimani, Assistant Director Public Prosecutions, in charge of ODPP Laikipia County.
Good morning. My name is Claire Kosgei, Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions and in charge of Baringo County.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Kipto, Senior Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions, in charge of ODPP, Nandi County, the source of champions.
Good morning. My name is Judy Chepchirchir. I am an Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions. I head the ODPP office in Bomet County. Thank you.
Mike, introduce yourself, please.
Morning. My name is Fatma Shaban. I'm a prosecutor at the Mutual Legal Assistance and Extradition Division.
Good morning. I work with International Justice Mission, where I am the Director of Global Prosecutions.
You've forgotten to mention your name, Jane.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I think I know most of you. I am Jen Riddell. I used to work at the British High Commission, where I worked with a lot of you in this room. So nice to see you all.
Good morning. My name is Natalie Tran. I am a program manager at the International Institute for Justice and the Rule of Law.
Good morning, everyone. Sada Mohammed, Program Associate, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, AML CFT Program.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gertrude Kiilu. I am the PA to the Secretary Prosecution Services. I am a Principal Prosecution Counsel. I am happy to be here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emily Onyancha. I work for the U.S. Department of War, Defense Threat Reduction Agency, otherwise known as DTRA. I'm based at the U.S. Embassy. I'm a program specialist, and I cover Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Asanteni.
Did you say war somewhere in your introduction?
It is now called the U.S. Department of War.
We are peaceful. We are all peaceful.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Solomon Wasia Masitra. I'm working with UNODC, National Project Officer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick Owen from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Maina. I'm a Deputy Director in charge of Public Prosecutions and also serving as a Chief of Staff.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Riungu, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions in charge of International, Economic and Organized Crimes Department. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Prince, and I'm the Country Director with the Human Trafficking Institute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Churcher, and I am the Global Programs Manager with the Human Trafficking Institute.
We are left with a high table here. Perhaps.
Good morning, Maximiliano Filardi, Program Officer for UNODC Environment Team.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Giovanni Broussard. I work for the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, and I'm the head of the Africa Program on crimes that affect the environment.
Good morning. Habari zenu. We should be happy. Today is a wonderful day. Nawasalimia tena. Asante sana. Good morning. My name is Jacinta Nyamosi. I'm a Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecution in charge of Conventional and Related Crimes Department. It is a pleasure just seeing everybody here, and I can see people are really bright and, happy. I'm happy to see my colleague who actually heads the largest part of Kenya. I think we will be relocating there so that we can be able to get a piece of shamba. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
I think the remaining dignitaries, I think, will be coming up here to talk to us. So perhaps I can spare you some energy. Yes. So can we all be as happy as Madam Nyamosi, please, to be here this morning? So thank you all very much for that introduction. Now that we have again known and identified each other, we can move on. You have seen the programs on your desks, on your tables. The program is going to change slightly due to some unforeseen circumstances. The Honorable DPP is caught up in an urgent function elsewhere. We are not sure whether he will be able to join us later, but let's keep our hopes alive. If he's able to, he will join us. If not, then we have his blessings to continue. So, Madam Nyamosi, I invite you to come and give your opening and welcome remarks. I want you to come and infect us with your enthusiasm and happiness so that you are able to go through the entire program as happy as you are. Karibu, madam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan. Happiness, you have to make it yourself, and I think we have done that. So good morning, and what a wonderful day. This is great. On behalf of the DPP And on behalf of the ODPP fraternity, allow me, honorable guests, our dear development partners who are actually part of the ODPP. I think you don't even get badges when you come to the office of the DPP. You are so welcome at all times, and you can see we always engage. We are always having partnerships, we meet. So our partners, you're part of ODPP. Our stakeholders, headed by Honorable Justice Kimondo. Allow me to tell you that we are so happy to have Honorable Justice Kimondo as part of us. I'm happy that we have ESCC part of us, we have DCI part of us, the stakeholders that matter in the criminal justice system. Thank you very much for being here. Honorable colleagues, first and foremost from the counties, I appreciate you, and we thank God that you have taken time to travel and be part of this wonderful day. Honorable regional heads, thank you for being the strong people for us. You are our eyes on the ground. The management team, today headed by Mr. Alois Kemo, who is our SPS. This is, today for me is just to welcome you and show that we are a very happy family today. Having these guidelines is something great for us. So for me, today is just to welcome you heartily and hope that you will be happy as I am. I know that the team that has been working on these guidelines has done a lot. For us to show our joy and our energy, it is very important. So for me, it's to welcome you on behalf of the DPP and the ODPP fraternity. Karibuni sana. We'll try and speak Kiswahili once in a while, but I'm hoping the regional head of course, will try as much as possible to ensure that we speak a bit of Kiswahili. Karibuni and welcome. Thank you very much. Asante.
Asante sana Madam Nyamosi kwa maneno yako mazuri. Kuna mtu amekuja akichelewa hapa. Nitamuuliza ajitambulishe. Yeye ni nani na kwa nini amechelewa?
Asante sana Bwana Hassan, SPP, wageni wetu, wenzangu kutoka kwa ofisi ya mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma. Habari za asubuhi. Mimi naitwa Nkaduda Hiribai. Ni naibu mkurugenzi mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma anayesimamia kitengo cha huduma saidizi.
Hapa ndio Kiswahili kimeanzia, sio cha kununua kile cha Joseph yule yuko pale. So thank you very much, Mr. Kaduda. So ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we are here to launch our ODPP Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines. And to set the ball rolling, I'm going to ask Mr. Vincent Monda to come and give a highlight, an overview of those guidelines that we are going to launch today. Mr. Vincent Monda, please welcome. Mr. Monda is a Senior Deputy Director in charge of the Regional and County Affairs and Regulatory Prosecution Services. He's a seasoned prosecutor.
Good morning all. As Hassan has already introduced me, I'll say I was also formerly the head of the Mutual Legal Assistance and International Cooperation Division, and riding on protocols already established. Karibuni, and I hope that my presentation will enlighten you. And as we move forward, colleagues, this is a very important area. International cooperation is no longer an option, it is mandatory. So allow me to take you through an overview of the MLA, that's the Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines that have been launched today. So that will be the scope of my presentation. We will look at the general principles. We will look at the legal basis, types of requests, the role of the Office of the Attorney General, the role of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. When can you refuse a mutual legal assistance request? When can it be postponed? What are the contents of a mutual legal assistance? And lastly, we have a form. This is a standard form for the respective types of mutual legal assistance requests that you'll be required as prosecution counsel to be able to draft these requests. If you look at the first slide, you notice that what is dual criminality? When you are looking at the aspect of mutual legal assistance, you have to determine whether it is a crime in the requesting country, and if it's for Kenya, is it a crime punishable by law? Rule of speciality, what do we mean here? If you are making a request, it should be for a specific issue or offense, so that if you find there is evidence relating to another crime, you do not use that evidence to prosecute that crime. Specifics. Legal basis. Who are you? We need to know who you are, the person requesting this information. In our context, it could be the office of the DPP. In other countries, you'll find the Ministry of Justice or the Director of Public Prosecution. So we need to know who you are so that we then be able to engage. Reciprocity. In our context in this country, we do not need the aspect of a treaty. It means if I do or pass your request as Kenya, next time I make a similar request, you should also be able to assist me. In other words, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Confidentiality, very important. For those of us who will be handling this type of cases, please, some of us partake, not of water, but wine and other related alcoholic drinks. You will come into contact with very confidential information. Please do not go and say that I'm handling case A involving a very senior government officer in country E. Please. And I say this because it is also for your own security. Supposing those agencies know you're the one handling, what do you think they are likely to do? Either induce you or take you out to slow the process, okay? So, if you look at the legal basis, normally we look at the following. Famous is the UNTOC, United Nations Convention on Transnational Organized Crime, which is famously known as the Palermo Convention. You also have the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, scheme relating to mutual legal assistance, that is the Commonwealth or Harare scheme. These are just various international conventions and regional instruments that we use insofar as mutual legal assistance is concerned. We have treaties. In some of these cases, like if you look at the Extradition Act, you'll find there are those countries within the Commonwealth and those countries that are not within the Commonwealth. So we can now begin then to engage on mutual legal assistance using treaties. So like in our context, we have the Mutual Legal Assistance Act. And what we are trying to do as the division is to operationalize these guidelines so that they assist the prosecutor understand the Mutual Legal Assistance Act and process more in depth. Because as you will, if you look at the crime trends currently, You have wildlife-related crimes, you have environmental crimes, you have transnational organized crimes. These are crimes that transcend borders. It then means that you may have an investigation beginning in Kenya, ending up in Thailand, Italy. So how then, as a prosecutor, are you able to gather evidence that is then admissible in court? Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished invited guests, my experience insofar as handling mutual legal assistance tells me that if you use this process, the issue of admissibility in court is not questioned. The defense counsel is only restricted to questioning the process through which you got the information, but you do not question the authenticity of the information. I hope I'm clear on that. And I will demonstrate a case where we are handling this. And you'll find that if you use this process, you get your evidence in very easily. If you can demonstrate that the process through which you used to get the information adhered to the Mutual Legal Assistance Act. So we look at then the types of request. You can have a mutual legal assistance request to identify and locate persons for purposes of taking evidence. So some of us have come across files known as PACA, pending non-arrest of accused persons. Please don't keep them away. When I began as a young prosecutor, when I came across such a file, because the fugitive, what this means is that pending non-arrest accused person, the officer was simply telling you, I have all the information, I am only missing the accused. The accused is out of jurisdiction. So as a young prosecutor, I would simply keep the file away and say, I'm hoping that he would return at some point in future. So if you have such files, please, MLA is here to assist us. Okay? Examining witnesses. I have instances of where I've assisted Mr. Riungu here in examining witnesses based in the US. In other words, you have witnesses testifying via video conference. So don't tell me the witness can't come to court. That should be a thing of the past as prosecutors. Okay? And I'll be telling you shortly why that will be a thing of the past. So if you have a witness who's out of jurisdiction, don't keep your file and say, keep on issuing witness summons and saying, you know, we can't get him to travel from where they are to here. Jennifer can confirm, we did a lot of witness examinations from the UK. So what does that tell you when you are telling me that my witness is in Busia but cannot testify? Yet she is assisting me get witnesses testify from the UK in London. So that's another important aspect, and that's why you now begin to see the importance of these MLA guidelines. They can assist you serve judicial documents. How do you serve documents when you have your witness out of jurisdiction? Or you send via WhatsApp and that's it. There's a process. Now use MLA. In this process, they will get to the intended person. You have, for example, an investigation that has begun in Kenya, but you find that the instrumentality of crime that you're looking for is in country B. The officer will come to you and tell you, I've hit a snag. I'm unable to access that instrumentality of crime in country B because I need it to go and do a search or a seizure. MLA again is here to assist you. We can get in touch with the law enforcement authorities in country B to do for you the search and seizure and bring you that information, including the instrumentality. So don't go and tell your investigating officer that it's done. Now that the instrumentality of crime is not within our jurisdiction, there's nothing much we can do. No. MLA can assist you execute that search or seizure in that country B, and you have the information. Also goes to bank records. Yeah, when you're looking at bank records, you want information which is in country B. So MLA now is here to assist you get that information to beef up your prosecution. Like I've said, you can also be assisted to examine objects and sites in country B, production of original or certified documents. So again, this process can assist you so that you do not have to have the particular person who did the documents in country B flying all the way to Nairobi, okay, to come. No. MLA can assist you to have that individual testify from where they are, and thereafter just take testimony. Facilitating witnesses, I've talked about that. We have done that with the assistance of the US authorities, and Jennifer is here, British authorities, where witnesses testify from the respective locations without necessarily having to travel all the way to the country. Yes, like I've said, we can also facilitate you take evidence via video conference. Very important. The only hitch you'll suffer here is timings. Like I would say, my colleagues, Owiti, Kinamuranga, you'd stay in court up to 1 a.m., especially when you have witnesses from the US. That is the only hitch you'll suffer. But nonetheless, we can do that. Are you aware that prisoners can also appear in court? Even if they are not within jurisdiction. So MLA is there to assist you, We can also assist you get freezing orders. You also trace proceeds of crime and recovery of assets. That's why now mutual legal assistance becomes very important to you as a prosecutor, and a very effective tool when you are prosecuting, so that you do not just go after the individual. You're also able to recover and dispose of assets related to proceeds of crime. What is the role of the Office of the Attorney General? If you look at the Mutual Legal Assistance Act, the Office of the Attorney General is a central authority. What do we mean by a central authority? All requests that come from the respective countries, first of all, they must go to the Office of the Attorney General, because it is the Office of the Attorney General that receives and transmits mutual legal assistance requests. Even as ODPP, when we draft them, we transmit them through the Office of the Attorney General. So like it's a central point for collection of all incoming and outgoing mutual legal assistance requests. What is our role as Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions? If you look at that legal notice 1847 of 15th February 2013, we are designated as a competent authority. Competent in the context that DPP, when he receives a mutual legal assistance request that relates to prosecution or extradition, it is the DPP that will then move to court. So the Attorney General will say, okay, having looked at this, this is for the DPP, please proceed. And that's why you've been saying that even when the authority to proceed is being drawn, it is drawn by the DPP. So like I've indicated, DPP is a competent authority who acts on behalf of the state and can also seek assistance in asset tracing, freezing, recovery, and giving effect to a court order on confiscation. What do we mean by this? If we receive a request from country B seeking to recover, to freeze, or at times give effect to an order in a criminal process, then it is the DPP that will move or make that application in court in order to authenticate that order and then proceed to effect it. We have been doing this very well with in extradition proceedings where we receive orders for arrests of individuals. So we must first of all go to a court for that court to authenticate that court order before we can now proceed with those proceedings. Of course, we can also receive requests for investigation, and in this context, we'll direct the Inspector General of the National Police Service to investigate that criminal conduct. Grounds for refusal. One aspect you need to look as a prosecutor, if it is not a criminal offense in Kenya, you stop there. Don't proceed because you've received a request. No. Look at our laws. Is it a criminal offense in our own jurisdiction? Okay? Normally, you'll receive requests where there's an investigation being carried on in Kenya. Again, we will postpone that request because, according to the Act, we give preference to the country that is conducting ongoing investigations. So we will not proceed with that investigation. The other aspect is you'll find that country B could be asking for an individual who has already been pardoned or acquitted on a subject matter. So again, we will decline that request. Of course, if it is of a political character, we will not go ahead to accede to that request. This is very important, and I will tell you why it's very important. Punishing or otherwise causing prejudice on account of the person's race, sex, religion, nationality, or political opinions. So again, when you get a request and looking at it, it is leaning towards sex, race, religion, or nationality, or political opinions, we will not accede to that type of requests. And also, if I may add, you know, there are countries that do not carry out the death penalty. So you'll find that one of the issues that they will require of you as a state is an assurance that should that individual be handed over to you, you'll not carry out the death penalty. Again, you can also not proceed with a request that is prejudicial to our own sovereignty, security, or national interest. When can you postpone a request for mutual legal assistance? Like I said, if there's an ongoing prosecution, judicial proceedings, or an investigation. This is very important so that you allow those processes to be concluded before then you can consider the request. And normally we do this in writing. At times, you will find that when the reason for which you are, let's say like the judicial proceedings are concluded, you can then proceed to seek from country A or B if that request is still viable and prosecute it if they are still interested. So what then are the salient features of a mutual legal assistance request? We must know who you are, official designation, Ministry of Justice, Office of the DPP, you explain yourself, okay? And in this context, you also must attach documents. Like if it's in the, like for us, we normally attach a copy of Article 157 to demonstrate our legal basis. What is the criminal matter you seek assistance? So you must give brief details, okay? I'm investigating this type of criminal offense, let's say stealing. These are bank records that we require. Which law is the perpetrator alleged to have offended? Too fast. You have to demonstrate the purpose for your evidence. Are there any time limits and reasons for your request? So that your request should not be viewed as a fishing expedition. The other aspect which is very important, you have to indicate, have criminal proceedings been instituted or not? And this is where, as colleagues, you also have to be very careful. Don't start a matter in court and expect that when you require some evidence from country B, you'll get it within a reasonable time. No, the process takes long. So if before you institute proceedings, please always get in touch with the division so that you're assisted, so that you do not reach a scenario where you always have to keep on telling the court, you know, yaona postpone the matter or adjourn the matter because I am still waiting for information from country B. Okay? And this you're telling us as a division when maybe it is 2-3 months down the line to the hearing date. So it is important that you begin the process early. Identity of an accused. So again, normally when we request for information, when you're drafting your MLA request, please don't draft a request and say that I want Mr. Monda in country B. There are many. You must first of all advise the police officers to use Interpol. They can be able to use Interpol to assist them get residence or location of these individuals, and also get a photograph of this individual. Because the country B will not do that for you. It is you who's seeking to be assisted. So normally get as much as information so that you can get country B law enforcement officers to assist you get the right person. What provisions of the law did the person you're looking for violate? Okay. Also, again, stage of the proceedings, so that if it is an urgent request, then we have to demonstrate to that requested state the urgency of the matter. Like I've talked before, assurance of reciprocity. Remember, this is international cooperation. So if you're going to be assisted, should country B seek assistance in future, you are obligated to assist them. Ensure you also attach the relevant exhibits you're seeking or documents, official seal and signature, and any other relevant information. So when you get these guidelines, at the back we have put there various forms of those requests. One of them you'll be looking at is an internal MLA request, an ongoing, outgoing MLA request, how you draft it. We have sample MLA templates. I know the guys from the counties, you're looking at me and wondering how you'll be doing all this. Jen, today is Friday. Is Madam Masava here? Nation? Anybody from procurement? I think they are having a meeting today. The DPP on Wednesday has assigned each regional coordinator, each head of county, and each head of sub-county a laptop. For those who don't have. That's the rider, okay? So, we expect that you'll use these sample templates to be able to generate requests for mutual legal assistance. So please don't send me the files you've been sending me. And Penny, so you've been sending me the file to do the request for you. Do it. I will assist you draft it. So thank you very much. So you should be having those laptops by, so when by? You've had. So from now, no more excuses. So asanteni sana, and I wish you well. Thank you very much. And before I wind up, just Hassan Kidogo, allow me to invite, of course, with the exception of the judge, Natalie, Jennifer. Where is the team that assisted in the drafting of the MLA guidelines? Jennifer, Makori, Magdalene, Come forward, they see you. Don't be scared. So please step up here. I know Mr. Whitty is away, so it'll be. As you can see, I must say that in this team, the male species was an endangered species. So Jennifer Idle has already introduced herself. Jennifer Kaniu is one. Natalie, I'm sure she'll have an opportunity to speak to us later. Magdalene Duarte and Jalson Makori. So this is the team that came up with these guidelines, of course with the assistance of the judge. That's why I said I will not allow him to come because he'll come to give the remarks. We had colleagues from LSK, but I don't see them here. Even from ESCC, thank you for your support, and DCI as well. So mine is to say asanteni sana, and please let's clap for this team. Thank you very much. We started in a small room, but today we have ended up in a big room.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monda. I saw everybody paying a lot of attention when you mentioned laptops. Just to be sure that you are not talking to yourself, maybe we need to have a small session of question and answer. What are the grounds for refusal? No, not now. I'm going to spare you that embarrassment. So thank you so much, Mr. Monda. We've had a few late entrants, and I think you shall be the speaker, so I'm going to spare you the energy of introducing yourselves. Karibuni sana, the two ladies there. So now we are going to hear from our partners, without whom really we can't do much. So Madam Natalie, is it Natalie? Natalie, please come and give us your remarks.
Good morning. Distinguished prosecutors, distinguished Mr. Kemo, esteemed colleagues from the Kenyan National Security and Justice Agencies, respected international partners, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to represent the International Institute for Justice and the Rule of Law, the IIJ, today for the official launch of the Office of the Director of the Public Prosecutions Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines. The IIJ is an organization based in Malta, so I came from a long way, aiming to provide specialized technical support to justice practitioners working on terrorism and organized crimes in East and West Africa, in the MENA region, and in Southeast Asia. On behalf of the IIJ, I wish to extend our appreciation to the ODPP for the opportunity to partner with you on the development of these guidelines. We also are extremely glad that international cooperation is a pillar of the DPP's strategic plan for 2023-2027. We also offer our sincere appreciation to Global Affairs Canada, whose generous support through the Building Strong Procedural Mechanisms for Mutual Legal Assistance, Phase 2 project has made this technical partnership on the guidelines possible. And we must recognize the crucial support provided by the British High Commission and the US Embassy in Kenya. I'd like to talk a little bit about my personal journey with these guidelines. So this journey started at the end of 2022 when I first joined the IAJ. I had the privilege to work closely on several occasions with the unit, the division that is that has developed these guidelines, the Mutual Legal Assistance Extradition Unit. It is the dedicated team of the ODPP leading the efforts of the Office on International Judicial Cooperation. And I vividly remember a drafting session where we passionately debated legislative drafting techniques, only to get stuck on the seemingly simple phrase of mutual legal assistance request. We paused to ask if this is the very first time, for instance, that Kenya has reached out to a country. Is it truly mutual yet? Or is it simply a hand extended into the unknown? And I here chose the word yet intentionally, because at the heart of mutual legal assistance lies the spirit of mutuality, a state of shared and reciprocal trust. These guidelines acknowledge that the pursuit of justice for survivors cannot be won in silos. It is, by its very nature, a collective endeavor. For many practitioners, including experienced ones, international cooperation is often perceived as a bit of a challenging labyrinth with complexity because of possible delays in obtaining information, evidence, and also where one needs to trust colleagues from other countries whom they might never meet. But these guidelines will actually change the narrative. They serve to desacralize the process of mutual legal assistance by establishing clear definitions, mapping out roles, offering preferred deadlines, and providing practical flowcharts and standardized forms. They cover, as Mr. Monda has said, they cover essential technical areas, including collecting banking and communications evidence. And by aligning with Kenya's international obligations, including under UNTOC, the guidelines place the power of international cooperation directly into the hands of each and every Kenyan prosecutor, so that they can more effectively combat complex transnational threats such as terrorism, money laundering, and cybercrime. I would like to acknowledge the incredible leadership and technical input of the brilliant IME unit, including Mr. Monda, Ms. Catherine Manwiki, and their dedicated team. The IAJ remains deeply committed on partnering with the ODPP and Kenya's central and competent authorities as we continue to work on international judicial cooperation. We are confident that today, Kenyan prosecutors are adding a vital new string to their bow, ensuring that justice knows no border. Thank you.
Very much, Madam Natalie. As always, we really cherish the support that we get from Malta. Malta has become like a home for us. We can't go for long without mentioning Malta. So thank you very, very much for the continued support that you give us. Madam Emily Onyancha. She is a program specialist from Defense Threat Reduction Agency, U.S. Embassy. Threat Reduction Embassy. Huh? Defense Threat Reduction. Yes. You are supposed to prevent threats and not to threaten anybody, right? Prevent threats. Karibu.
Oh, okay. Honorable Alois Kemo, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Jambo Tena. The Defense Threat Reduction Agency, otherwise known as DTRA, as a development partner, we are honored to collaborate with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in advancing initiatives that strengthen the rule of law and administration of justice. The development and launch of the Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for Prosecutors represents a timely and important step in enhancing international cooperation in criminal matters. In today's interconnected environment, effective prosecution increasingly depends on the ability of institutions to engage seamlessly across jurisdictions. These guidelines provide a clear and practical framework to support that engagement. We particularly commend the thoughtful approach taken to promote consistency, clarity, and adherence to established legal standards. By strengthening procedures for both outgoing and incoming requests, these guidelines will contribute to greater efficiency, predictability, and mutual trust among partner jurisdictions. We also recognize the emphasis placed on capacity building and institutional coordination, which are essential to ensuring that these guidelines are not only well understood, but effectively applied in practice. As partners, we remain committed to supporting these efforts through continued collaboration, technical assistance, and knowledge sharing. We are confident that this initiative will further enhance Kenya's contribution to regional and international justice cooperation. Together, we reaffirm our shared commitment to a justice system that is responsive, collaborative, and equipped to address the evolving demands of transnational crime. So thank you again for having us here. Congratulations once again, and asanteni sana.
You've done it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Madam Millim, for your remarks, and we look forward to your support. May I now call upon Madam Lisa Chacha, Global Program Officer of the Human Trafficking Institute. You know, when that name is interesting. It's the Human Trafficking Institute. One would wonder whether you are engaged in human trafficking. Maybe you can tell us what you do, briefly. Karibu, Madam Lisa.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to ride on the protocol that was already established, or I will definitely get it wrong. I am the Global Program Manager for the Human Trafficking Institute, and we are against trafficking. We do not train people to traffic, just for clarity. We are delighted to be here today. The Human Trafficking Institute works to combat trafficking by investing specialized embedded expertise, strategic tools and tactics, to increase capacity and interagency coordination. We have had programs in Uganda, South Africa, Belize, the US, and now Kenya. We signed an MOU with the Odpp and with DCI last year. And our country director, Michelle Prince, who unfortunately had to leave early, is here to, I guess, begin the program, and she has extensive prosecution experience and experience with MLA. We are excited about the launch of these guidelines, underscoring the importance of cooperation of multiple different jurisdictions in tackling crimes like trafficking and other egregious crimes. Trafficking doesn't occur independently. It is a combined effort, and these guidelines will help prosecutors in understanding the directives and processes to effectively cooperate with other countries. I know I was in Uganda for a long time, and there are many overlapping cases between Uganda and Kenya. So being able to work together to tackle trafficking is really exciting. And so I just wanted to briefly congratulate everyone involved. It's really exciting work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and we look forward to your continued support and engagement. May I now call upon Mr. Benson Shamala. Mr. Shamala is an old friend of the office. You don't have your prepared speech, Mr. Shamala. That's how much you feel at home, right?
I feel at home.
Karibu.
Yeah, so the distinguished guest, invited guest, and friends from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, good morning. I'm so excited to be here and to be part of the team that we are launching these guidelines. Indeed, it just proves how the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is both proactive but also looking for ways of enhancing justice. As you heard, my name is Benson Shamala. I have been serving recently as the Country Director for International Justice Mission, but now have transitioned to a new entity called MARISI, which is a global organization headquartered in USA, in California, with the main objective of ending child sex trafficking. We realize that child sex trafficking is a very cruel injustice crime, and it affects children and the youth. And not only is it happening across borders, but also within our counties, our cities, and I'm just so happy for the launch of this particular guidelines, because it will spell out how we can handle cases in which either the perpetrators or the criminals are coming from different countries, or also survivors coming from different countries. We believe that we need to work together as partners, and so MARISI works closely with government agencies, with law enforcement agencies, to be able to crack down on the criminal network so that issues of child sex trafficking can end. We also work alongside the various prosecution services to ensure that these cases are taken to court and to ensure justice for the survivors, but also providing psychosocial support and care for the survivors who have really experienced trauma, so that they can be able to heal from that trauma and be able to move on with life. And so today I'm just so happy because of the launch of these particular guidelines. Our team were also invited during the validation workshop to look through it, and I believe we will be one of the first beneficiaries of the use of these particular guidelines, because as we intend to, we have just recently launched the program in Kenya, and my responsibility is also to launch in 7 African countries, and I know that with that we'll need mutual agreement between these different countries, especially when tackling this particular crime. So I want to say congratulations to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, congratulations to the Institute, International Institute for Justice and Rule of Law, and the Canadian Commission for supporting this, and all the people that were there who participated in developing these particular guidelines. So I want to say congratulations, asante sana, and we will be the beneficiaries of these guidelines. God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shamala. Even though you are wearing a different hat now, you are still a friend of the office, and a very close one for that matter. Madam Jennifer Riddle, what can I say? You've been more than a partner, a friend of this office. Your work that you have done for us speaks for itself. We are indeed happy to see you this morning. May I now invite you to come and talk to us. You are part of the team that came up with these guidelines, even though now you are wearing a different hat, but I am sure we haven't seen the last of you.
I hope not. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Shamala, you're wearing a different hat, and I'm now wearing a similar hat to the one you used to wear, so that's wonderful. Distinguished guests, it's so lovely to be here, and I want to harness that joy from Madame Nyamusi. And I'm so happy that we have reached this point. This was a journey that started under the former DPP and was initially led by Madame Waniki, Tomika Patterson from the US Embassy, and Caroline Mtai, myself, and that wonderful team that you saw here. Many late nights during COVID, working virtually, trying to coordinate, trying to bring this together. And then when Mr. Monda took it on, we moved to the next level. We tried to take all of the detail that we had there and actually streamline out what was not necessary and keep it really focused on what technical, operational prosecutors need on the ground. The theory was excellent, the theory was useful for us as part of that journey. But what I really hope is that these guidelines will be guidelines that you can use and that your prosecutors can use and are just really helpful and not bogged down in all of the theory. But of course the theory and the legislation matters. So it is properly grounded. These guidelines should help you. In my new role with International Justice Mission, my role is global, so I'm supporting all of our country offices from Indonesia to Guatemala. Kenya is one in the middle, so I also suffer with time zone challenges, Mr. Monda. Late night calls is a challenge. But we are seeing more and more transnational crime. I know this is something everybody says when they stand up to talk about MLA, that the criminals cross borders and we need to be better. The thing is, we do. We need to be better. And we are seeing forced scamming taking place in East Asia, in Myanmar, in Cambodia, and some of that involves Kenyans, and some of that involves Ugandans. And there are people currently from Kenya in East Asia trying to get home who have been trafficked into forced scamming situations. We've read about it in the newspapers. We know it's real, but these cases will come to the doorstep of the ODPP. And you will need the evidence to build the cases against whoever it was that was trafficking them from this side. Or perhaps you'll need to be liaising with those in East Asia to provide the evidence that they need for their prosecutions. The global world is global, it's small, we're all facing similar challenges, and yeah, the people of Kenya need these guidelines, your prosecutors need these guidelines, and so I'm very grateful that the current DPP and Mr. Monda took this to the next level and that we're now here. So congratulations on finalising it, and thank you for all the hard work that your team put in. I know that there were some people who were not on the stage today, and they're also thanked. So wonderful news. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jen. Jen, we look forward to, again, tap into your rich experience that you are now, you find yourself in. You know, I know you go to a lot of countries. Jen is always traveling from one place to another. Yeah. So thank you so much, Jen, once again. We have in our midst Mr. Josiah Nyangweso, who is a Chief Manager, Legal Services from KRA. Bwana Josiah, you'll just say hi. I don't know whether somebody whispered that we are collecting funds here. You want to come and take a bit of it?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm glad to join you today also in the launch of the prosecution guidelines. And I have not come to correct revenue here today. ODPP is a critical partner in the justice sector, and we have come to provide our support as a critical institution for that purpose. So, as you continue to progress this process forward, just know that KRA has full support. Thank you.
Now that you are clear, you are here by invitation, not to come and ask us for P9s and those kind of documents. So thank you very much, Bwana Nyangweso. As always, of course, we continue to have very good relationships. May I now call upon Mr. Giovanni? Yes. Mr. Giovanni is the Africa Coordinator Global Program on crimes that affect the environment. Please come and give us your remarks.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of sharing some thoughts. I discovered that this morning when I came to the room, so I didn't prepare anything in advance. But it's such a critical topic that it's It's truly a pleasure for me to see that there has been this progress now in Kenya in the use of MLA. Let's face it, in the fight against transnational organized crime, MLA is generally the weakest part of the international response. In most countries of the world, prosecutors advance the investigation until they reach a point where MLA is necessary. And for a number of reasons, they don't pursue MLA. It's a tedious process, it takes a lot of time, nobody knows exactly how to fill it, nobody wants to go through the diplomatic channel, nobody even knows whether the request that you're making to another country will be actually fulfilled, because there is some degree of lack of trust. But it's still a necessary instrument, an instrument without which the fight against transnational organized crime cannot be won. And what is happening today with the launch of these guidelines is critically important, because Odpp is telling all prosecutors in Kenya that you have a responsibility not to stop at your own borders, but to go further. And even when there is an investigation that leads towards cooperation from other countries, you have to go for it. It's your responsibility to go for it. And Odpp, with its partners, is giving you today a clear understanding of the process that you need to follow. How to actually and successfully submit or respond to a request of mutual legal assistance. And as I said, this is an incredibly positive step in the right direction. There are still many issues that need to be addressed. How is this request of mutual legal assistance going to be transferred to the other country? Is there a direct communications from competent authority to competent authority, as the UN Convention on Transnational Organized Crime suggests? Or is it going through the diplomatic channels with the inevitable risks of having this request being delayed or being lost? It's important that these guidelines complement the existing conventions, some of which we've heard, those against transnational organized crime, those against corruption, which provide further assistance to the work that you have already developed here. I also believe that it's really important to start relying much more also on informal cooperation with prosecutors that you may know on other countries before actually shooting a mutual legal assistance request without knowing exactly whether your request of evidence or your request of witness testimonies can be addressed. So having also informal cooperation with key people in other countries and using, when necessary, the Interpol channels will be also very important to make your mutual legal assistance more successful. It's an official process that is necessary to bring evidence to court, but it can go in parallel with a less official, more informal form of cooperation that nowadays is possible and it's very useful. So with this, I would like only to reiterate again sincere congratulations. Mr. Kemo, Mr. Monda, you've led a very important process. All the partners involved that supported the development of these guidelines, you need to be really congratulated for what you've done. It's now important that these guidelines are used proficiently, used properly, and that finally in a few years from now, we won't be able to say anymore that the MLA is the weakest point of the response to transnational organized crime, but Kenya can lead actually a change in approach whereby mutual legal assistance is an example of successful cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giovanni, for your insightful remarks. Your entity deals with crime that affect the environment, and I think crimes against wildlife have an element of cross-border implications. So we look forward to engaging with you and to continue in the manner that we are doing. May I recognize the presence of Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles Otiende is always present. Good to see you again. He's a Deputy Director and a Deputy Commissioner of Police. Your Deputy Director, Legal Services. Once again, Karibu. Maybe people just want to hear your voice. I know it's not just about handcuffing people sometimes.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan, and good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Otiende, just like Mr. Hassan has told you. I'm a Commissioner of Police. I'm a Deputy Director of Legal Affairs at the National Police Service Headquarters. Sorry for coming in late. The IG was invited, but due to operational contingencies, he could not make it. So he asked me to come along and pass his regards. NPS and Odpp are literally cogs that drive the wheel of criminal justice system. So that's how mutually we are tied. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Otiende. Bwana Patrick Owiny from EACC, please welcome. Mr. Owiny is a Deputy Director, Ethics and Compliance Division of EACC.
Thank you. As indicated, my name is Patrick Owiny, Deputy Director, Ethics Compliance. Our CEO, Mr. Abdi Mohamud, was invited for this function, but due to exigency of duties that have arisen this morning, is not able to make it. He has sent me here. I have his speech, which I will remarks, which I will read verbatim. Mr. Renzo Negonga, Director of Public Prosecution, Ms. Beatrice Mwaura, Acting Deputy Director, General Legal Services Directorate, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, representative of the Canadian Commission, Mr. Giovanni, Africa Coordinator, Global Program on Crimes that Affect the Environment, Mr. Benson Shamala, County Director, Marisi, Ms. Lisha Chacha, Global Program Officer, HTI Kenya, Ms. Teresa Mugaza, County Director, IDLO, Ms. Emily Onyancha, Program Specialist Defense Threat Reduction Agency, U.S. Embassy, Ms. Nathaniel Tran, Program Manager, IIJ, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to ride on the protocol already laid down. Good morning. I'm honored to join you this morning for the launch of the ODPP Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for Prosecutors 2026. I commend the Director of Public Prosecution for the visionary leadership in developing these vital guidelines. The development of these guidelines align perfectly with the national agenda and EACC's mission to combat corruption and economic crimes through enhanced local and international cooperation. It is acknowledged fact that in our interconnected world, corruption has become a transnational organized crime that exploits borders and technology to move illicit financial flows. Mutual legal assistance plays a significant role in combating corruption and economic crimes. It is a significant tool for investigators and prosecutors in identifying, tracing, and freezing the proceeds of crime across jurisdictions. The development of these guidelines is a demonstration that borders will no longer serve as shields for those who loot public resources. the transition from varied standards to clear, practical, and standardized procedures for drafting and executing MLA requests is a laudable move by the ODPP. The EACC, as a designated competent authority under the MLA Act, will continue strengthening its collaboration with the ODPP for effective delivery of our shared mandate to combat corruption and economic crimes. The guidelines we are launching today will streamline how the two agencies coordinate with relevant investigative agencies to fulfill international requests. As the lead agency in the fight against corruption, the EACC remains steadfast in its mandate to combat and prevent corruption, economic crime, and unethical conduct through law enforcement, prevention, public education, and promotion of standards and practices of integrity, ethics, and anti-corruption. However, an investigation is only as strong as the prosecution it supports, and a prosecution is only as effective as the judicial adjudication that follows. I note with appreciation that MLA guidelines being launched today classify corruption and economic crimes as high priority, requiring expeditious action. This aligns with the Commission's strategic direction of prioritizing high-impact corruption cases defined by the amount of money involved, public interest in the matter, and the status of public officials involved. The guidelines will therefore serve as a valuable tool in aligning our processes and priorities. In conclusion, I congratulate the ODPP on this milestone and declare the EACC's full support in the implementation of the MLA Guidelines 2026 to rid Kenya of corruption. Thank you, Mr. Abdi Mohamed, EBS.
Thank you, Patrick, for those remarks. Without saying much, these guidelines will definitely touch on you as well. May I now call upon Madam Beatrice Mwaura, who is the Acting Deputy Director, General Legal Services Directorate, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Without you, I don't think there will be anything called mutual legal assistance. Karibu, Madam.
Thank you for the kind words. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Allow me first to convey the regrets of our Principal Secretary, Korir Singoe, who could not join us today due to exigencies of duty. And he's thus sent me here to represent him, and I hope I will do that ably. First, it's to deeply appreciate the Director of Public Prosecutions for extending the invitation to our Principal Secretary. As I said, this is actually really important and would have wanted to be here, but for the exigencies of duty. I want to commend the team that was involved in developing these guidelines under the able leadership of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Indeed, without your sacrifice, we would not be here. So congratulations for a job well done, and the challenge is to everyone in this room to actually make good use of those guidelines, appreciating the effort that has been put in. I also want to extend appreciation to Friends of Kenya, who out of their own volition chose to support this process so that we could realize better international cooperation. Thank you very much. Feel deeply appreciated. So the Ministry of Foreign, now it's called Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. We have to remind ourselves that. Yeah. So the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs is a critical link in this chain of mutual legal assistance. We are able to facilitate the transmission of requests through diplomatic channels. Sorry for those who feel sometimes they are delayed or documents may get lost. I mean, it's almost a relief to hear it come from somebody else who is not Foreign Affairs Kenya. We also suffer the same fate, but it's not because we are careless. It is because even within Foreign Affairs, there are so many other departments and documents may be misdirected, but they will be found and they will be transmitted to the Office of the Attorney General as a central authority. So don't be too worried. They will get to the right place. Then we also liaise with the Office of the Attorney General as a central authority, Odpp as one of the competent authorities. There's also Judiciary and other law enforcement agencies that are really critical players in this long chain of mutual legal assistance. We also, in doing all that, make our best effort to safeguard national sovereignty and ensure compliance with international obligations during execution of requests. Another role that we play is ourselves here at headquarters and through our missions abroad. We facilitate and participate in the negotiation of bilateral instruments. You will all appreciate that it's not enough to have just the international instruments that guide mutual legal assistance or generally international judicial cooperation or assistance. It's also important to have those bilateral instruments. So we are the gateway. Yeah, and we facilitate our colleagues in government and also participate in those negotiations. Another role that Foreign Affairs and also its missions abroad plays is to facilitate our participation in multilateral conferences that address organized crimes and from which we are able to draw best practices. These guidelines are not, yes, there's a lot of Kenyan genius in them, but we have drawn best practices from every international conference that we participate in, from every bilateral engagement that we have. So Foreign Affairs facilitates these activities so that we can have what has been or will be launched today. And another role that Foreign Affairs plays is just being diplomats, because sometimes the requests may not be diplomatically phrased. And therefore, we have to come in and moderate language as is necessary as we ensure that our relations with the various countries that we are seeking support from are smooth, that they're in good standing. So we do all these in appreciation of our foreign policy, which requires us to actively participate and contribute to the rule-based global order. Never mind that it may be challenged here and there, but we firmly believe in it. Kenya firmly believes in multilateralism and in a rule-based global order. So I therefore wish to, as I conclude, reaffirm the ministry's commitment to support effective and timely international cooperation, and we once more laud the office of the ODPP for achieving these really important milestones. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Beatrice, for highlighting the key activities that you engage yourselves in. We thank you very much for your remarks. Just a small request, Madam. When we ask for the note verbalos, sometimes you hasten the process so that we can do what you have said is to be done here. Thank you so much. May I now call upon Madam Leah. Madam Leah Ayua, she is a Chief State Counsel from the Attorney General's chambers.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Leah Ayua. I'm a Chief State Counsel at the Office of the Attorney General. and the Deputy Head of Department for the International Law Division, and I also head the Mutual Legal Assistance Unit, a unit that I set up somewhere around 2012. I started as a solo individual, made all the blunders, but along the way I learned, cooperated with the DPP. I see Monda laughing there. And of course now the unit has grown. I worked with the first Jennifer at the BHC. I worked with the second Jennifer at the BHC. I've been in touch with Natalie at some point. And this moment I am tasked to step in very big shoes, the shoes of the Honorable Attorney General, to read the keynote address. So I will proceed to do the same verbatim. The Director of Public Prosecutions, representatives of the International Institute for Justice and the Rule of Law, representatives of the diplomatic community and the international partners, Prosecution Council, distinguished participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be present at this occasion. I wish at the outset to thank the Director of Public Prosecutions for the kind invitation extended to the Office of the Attorney General and to myself, and for the initiative that has culminated in today's important milestone. The launch of the ODPP Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines is a demonstration of institutional resolve, a resolve to ensure that Kenya meets its international obligations with precision, competence, and the full weight of the law. Let me just note, I think when I heard they're launching these guidelines, I was first surprised because I wondered, we had guidelines. Then I noted that it's actually for prosecutors. So allow me to, at this juncture, to briefly restate the legal foundations that underpin today's event. The MLA Act, that is that Act number 36 of 2011, is an act of parliament enacted to provide for mutual legal assistance to be given and received by Kenya in investigations, prosecutions, and judicial proceedings in criminal matters. It's a primary domestic legal instrument through which Kenya engages the international community in the fight against crime that recognizes no borders. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Act reflects Kenya's commitment to the principles of mutuality and reciprocity. The generosity of the spirit is, of course, underpinned by the expectation of reciprocity that when Kenya knocks on the door of another nation seeking assistance in its own prosecutions, that door will be opened. It is important on this occasion to clearly articulate the role of our office under this framework, for it forms the very architecture within which the ODPP guidelines we launched today will operate. Section 5 of the MLA Act designates the Office of the AG as the central authority for all mutual legal assistance in Kenya. This is not a ceremonial designation. It carries with it specific, concrete, and weighty operational responsibilities that the office discharges on a continuous basis in service to Kenya's international obligations. Specifically, as a central authority, the functions of the OG would include the transmission and receipt of all mutual legal assistance requests between Kenya and foreign states or international entities. Secondly, ensuring that every request conforms to the requirements of the Kenyan law and Kenya's international obligations before any action is taken. Certifying and authenticating documents supplied in response to requests, a function that is critical to the admissibility and credibility of evidence in foreign proceedings. And thirdly, facilitating the orderly and rapid disposition of requests so that delays do not undermine prosecutions. And of course, here we note that time is actually of essence. And finally, negotiating and concluding mutual legal assistance agreements and arrangements with foreign states and international organizations on behalf of the Republic of Kenya. I think Monda has been a great partner on that front. Furthermore, the Act vests the Attorney General's Office with the power to make regulations prescribing matters necessary or convenient for giving better effect to the Act. This reinforces our office as the overarching authority through which all mutual legal assistance activity takes place, including the prosecutorial dimension. Ladies and gentlemen, Allow me to speak directly to the relationship between the AG's office and the guidelines we are launching today, because I believe it is a relationship worth highlighting. The relationship between the Office of the Attorney General and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in MLA matters is therefore one of institutional complementarity, where two distinct offices, which each with their defined role, operating on the same space of international criminal justice cooperation. Our office is the gateway, the central authority that receives and transmits requests and ensures that legal compliance with the ODPP is the engine, the prosecutorial authority that operationalizes these requests and converts international cooperation into successful prosecutions in Kenyan courts. It would be remiss of me if I did not speak of the broader significance of this launch. Kenya's engagement in mutual legal assistance is not merely a domestic legal matter. It is a statement about the kind of country Kenya is and the kind of partner Kenya seeks to be in the international community. Foreign states judge Kenya not merely on the elegance of our statutes, but by how these statutes are applied. When a letter of request arrives at our office, when it is routed to the ODPP, and when the Prosecution Council engage with it in accordance with these guidelines, that entire process is Kenya's reputation in action. The guidelines we launched today are therefore an investment in that reputation. They are a signal to the world that Kenya Prosecution Council are equipped, prepared, and committed to handle mutual legal assistance matters with the seriousness they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to take this opportunity to issue a call to action to all stakeholders present. To the Prosecution Council in this room, these guidelines are your instrument. Read them, internalize them, and apply them consistently. The quality of Kenya's mutual legal assistance engagement will be measured request by request, case by case, and prosecution counsel by prosecution counsel. To the law enforcement agencies and investigative bodies, I urge you to align your work with these guidelines from the inception of any matter that may carry an international dimension. The strength of a mutual legal assistance request lies in the quality of the investigation and documentation that precedes it. Your cooperation with the ODPP in this regard is indispensable. To our international partners and the IIJ, I thank you for your sustained collaboration with Kenya's justice institutions. The ODPP's partnership with the IIJ in the development of these guidelines is a model of how technical assistance should work, grounded in mutual respect, responsive to Kenya's specific legal context, and oriented towards building lasting institutional capacity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to reaffirm the full commitment of the Office of the Attorney General to the operationalization of these guidelines and to a shared work in ensuring that Kenya is a reliable, law-abiding, and effective partner in international judicial cooperation. As the central authority under the Mutual Legal Assistance Act, our office stands ready to work hand in hand with the ODPP to ensure that requests are handled with speed, legality, and the professionalism that Kenya's partners rightly expect. As we all know, that the AG was not a stranger to the DPP's office. She was part of that office for quite a long time, and she's very much aware of the capacity and capabilities that are available in that office. It is now my honor and privilege to be part of this launch of the Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for Prosecutors. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Leah, for highlighting the very close relationship that exists between our two offices, and also for reminding us to exhibit professionalism in implementing these guidelines. Thank you so much, and pass our regards to our former SPS, Madam Dorcas. We are almost there. We're almost there. So we have one more speaker before we get to the keynote address, and thereafter the launch and the lunch thereafter. Yeah. So may I now call upon Judge who is a very good friend of the office, Justice Kanye Kimondo, to come and give remarks on behalf of the judiciary.
Good morning. My name is Kanye Kimondo, and I have the great honor to serve the people of Kenya as a judge of the High Court and currently as the presiding judge of the Criminal Division of the High Court. I'm happy to see so many of you who practice in courts across the country and who have consistently performed your duties honestly, diligently, and with very high professionalism. I'm very, very happy to meet you this morning. My task today is simple. I've been asked by the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Karabu Kome, to extend very warm greetings and regards to all of you from her and the entire judiciary. She would have loved to be at this function this morning, but as you all know, and this is in the public domain, the judiciary is in the process of hiring a fresh cohort of judges of the High Court and judges of the Environment and Land Court, and the Honorable Chief Justice doubles up as the chair of the Judicial Service Commission, and that exercise is proceeding. Whenever you're given a task such as the one that I have, it is tempting to say a few things. But unwittingly, you end up either misleading the gathering or saying things that your boss never intended to be said in public. So I'll be quite circumspect in what I say, and I'll dig straight into the formal speech by the Honorable Chief Justice. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, it is a great honor to address you today during this official launch of the Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for Prosecutors. I wish to start by expressing my deep gratitude to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Renson Igonga, for inviting me to be part of this important occasion. I also commend all of you who work in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for the critical role that you continue to play in advancing the rule of law and administration of justice in Kenya. The Odpp remains a central pillar in our justice system. I also take this opportunity to recognize the valuable partnership and collaboration between the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the International Institute for Justice and the Rule of Law. This collaboration reflects the importance of international cooperation in addressing the increasingly complex nature of international crimes. These include corruption, terrorism, cybercrimes, trafficking, and other complex financial crimes. And it is clear that no single country can effectively confront these challenges in isolation. Justice, therefore, must transcend borders. But to be effective, it then needs to be well coordinated and timely. In this context, mutual legal assistance is not a peripheral function of the criminal justice system. It is central to its effectiveness. Therefore, the launch of the ODPP Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for Prosecutors is timely and significant. The guidelines respond directly to that need by streamlining processes, providing practical procedures, and promoting efficiency. They will ensure that requests for legal assistance are handled in an expeditious and effective manner, and in the process strengthen Kenya's capacity to meet its international obligations and to enhance the overall effectiveness of our criminal justice system. The judiciary remains firmly committed to working closely with you in advancing the rule of law and administration of justice in Kenya. As the ODPP strengthens its processes for international cooperation, the judiciary stands ready to complement these efforts through efficient case management and timely adjudication of disputes and criminal cases. Our shared goal is a justice system that is not only effective, but also just, transparent, and accountable. In conclusion, I commend the Office of the DPP for this important and forward-looking initiative. The guidelines that we are launching today mark a significant step in strengthening Kenya's justice system and enhancing its capacities to respond. Together, let us build a justice system that commands confidence, delivers results, and stands as a beacon of the rule of law, both within our borders and beyond. Thank you, and God bless you. The Honorable Justice Mother Karabu Kome, EGH, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Justice Kimondo, for re-emphasizing the need to have a fair, transparent, and accountable justice system with the kind of cooperation that exists between our two institutions. Now is the time that we have been waiting for to hear the keynote address of the Honorable DPP, which will be read on his behalf by our Secretary of Public Prosecution Services, Mr. Alois Kemo. Mr. Alois Kemo, sir, karibu. Can we please have a round of applause for him?
To my Lord, Justice Kanyi Kimondo, representing the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya today, who also happens to have taught me family law at the Kenya School of Law. Madam Leah Ayua, the Chief State Counsel representing the Attorney General, also was behind me in college. Beatrice Mwaura, representing the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Emilio Nyancha, Program Specialist at DETRA, good friend of the office. Lisa Chacha, Global Program Manager, HTI Kenya. Benson Shamala, Country Director, Marisi. Jennifer Riddell, a good friend of the office, now with IJM. Giovanni Bossard, from the Global Program on Crimes that Affect the Environment, a very long title. Thank you for being here. Patrick Owing, a good friend from EACC, representing the CEO. Charles Otieno, Commissioner of Police, and we've worked all over the country with him, including very remote places. I remember last we met in Tana River. The representative of KRA, may I just say, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Is it noon yet? Not yet. Good morning. Now, it is a great honor to stand before you today as we mark a significant milestone for the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the official launch of the Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for prosecutors. Allow me at the very outset to thank all of you for joining us on this important occasion. Your presence reflects a shared commitment to strengthening the administration of justice, not only within our borders, but across multiple jurisdictions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in an era where crime is no longer confined by geography and defined by boundaries. Criminal networks operate across borders with increasing sophistication. They exploit technology, transfer illicit funds across jurisdictions through the formal financial systems, and often behind complex evidentiary trails that cannot be addressed by a single state, government, investigative, or prosecutorial entity. Mutual legal assistance has therefore become not just a legal tool, but of necessity a bridge that enables states to cooperate, share information and evidence in a formal manner to ensure timely and effective handling of matters by both investigative and prosecutorial agencies. The Mutual Legal Assistance Act, Chapter 75A, provides the legal framework for formal cooperation between Kenya and other states. Distinguished guests, as the office mandated to prosecute criminal matters, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions plays a central role in facilitating mutual legal assistance as a competent authority. During the period between 2023 to date, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has handled 45 incoming and outgoing requests. This therefore demonstrates valuable experience as well as the need to strengthen and prioritize incoming and outgoing requests based on their complexity and urgency. This reflects on our commitment to upholding international best practices as set out by the Financial Action Task Force and the National Risk Assessment. These guidelines therefore seek to address the following key challenges: delay as well as procedural gaps, inconsistencies while taking into account the complexity of the transnational crimes in handling matters across multiple jurisdictions. In response, these guidelines provide a structured and practical framework to guide prosecutors in handling incoming and outgoing requests for MLA. They are practical and provide clear tools and reference material to support prosecutors in their day-to-day work. For instance, Annexure 6 provides a standard template for drafting mutual legal assistance requests, ensuring uniformity and completeness in all outgoing requests. In addition, the guidelines set out internal processes for handling both incoming and outgoing requests, including timelines, approval procedures, and decision-making criteria, particularly under Section 6 and Section 7. Further, Annexures 2, 3, 4, and 5 provide detailed flowcharts that clearly map out the transmission and processing of requests, thereby enhancing quality and admissibility of evidence obtained. Finally, the guidelines provide key institutional reference points, including the roles of the Odpp, the Office of the Attorney General, under Section 5, as well as official contact details to facilitate seamless coordination between competent and central authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, the ODPP has developed and is today launching the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution's Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines, which are intended not only to provide clear guidance on legal and procedural aspects of mutual legal assistance, and also to promote consistency, efficiency in handling requests, but also, one, strengthen coordination between ODPP and both local and international partners. Two, enhance accountability and record keeping, and improve the quality of timeliness of our cooperation efforts, as well as support prosecutors in navigating cross-border cases seamlessly. The Director of Public Prosecutions, through the Extradition, Mutual Legal Assistance, and International Cooperation Division, will ensure that there is coordinated sensitization of prosecutors on the process of drafting incoming and outgoing requests of mutual legal assistance, as well as adherence to the set timelines as per the reporting template. Distinguished participants, the launch of these guidelines is no mean achievement. We acknowledge and deeply appreciate the contribution of our key stakeholders, government agencies, as well as investigative bodies, and our international partners whose insights have been invaluable in shaping these guidelines. In particular, we extend our gratitude to the British High Commission in Nairobi, the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the United States Department of Justice, that's US DOJ, the Office of Overseas Prosecutorial Development, OPDAT, and the Global Affairs Canada for their continued support throughout this process. Ladies and gentlemen, this launch, therefore, is not the end of this process, but is the beginning of a new chapter as we embark on a new phase of the implementation by focusing on sensitization of prosecutors in all counties, as well as investigative agencies, to strengthen their interagency coordination and collaboration to address the threats of new emerging transnational organized crimes and foster close collaboration between states. I would like to conclude by adding my voice to the call for unity as embodied in these guidelines through a shared commitment to cooperate among investigative and prosecutorial agencies across the world. Just as criminal networks transcend borders, our response must be equally seamless and coordinated and effective. Let me just pause to also acknowledge one of us and is currently out of the country on treatment and has really played a very big role in seeing these guidelines come to fruition. And by the way, Catherine, Leah, and Monda, and myself went to the same college. And they all seem to have taken international law very seriously. I didn't know Professor Day was preparing you for a role in mutual legal assistance in Kenya 35 years later. Congratulations to you all and what you're doing for our country. With these remarks, it is now my honor to officially launch the ODPP Mutual Legal Assistance Guidelines for prosecutors. I thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alois Kemo, for the remarks. Now is the time for what we have been waiting for since morning. And this is how we are going to go about it. So the advanced team, as you can see, is here. So Mr. Kemosa, you will come here and you shall press that button there. Please, honorable partners, please accompany Mr. Kemo. You need to face that side. You need to face the curtains. So you need to stand here because you are pressing that. Don't press now. Just this, yes. And once the curtains open, there will be a ribbon to be cut. So the lady with a pair of scissors, you will come near. Once Mr. Kemo, you press this and the things come out of there, the place will open, the curtains will open, and you shall go and cut the ribbon. And that will mark the launch of our guidelines this morning. And thereafter, we shall have a number of photo sessions, which I will be able to tell you about and how we are going to go about those sessions. So, Mr. Kemosa, if you are ready, you can press. But you are, you are not facing. You are not facing that side. Yes. So, all the photographers, you are ready. Please, let's proceed. Let's a round of applause, please. Yes. Now you can proceed to cut the ribbon. Photographers, please. You can be accompanied by our partners, Madam Jane and the rest. Let the photographers aim properly. They are taking shots, aren't they? So thank you very much, Mr. Kemo. So now we shall proceed with the photo sessions. First, we are going to start with the speakers and the SPS here in front here. You are going to stand here. You are going to be given each a booklet of the guidelines. The photographers, please arrange the dignitaries. Giovanni, please, this way. Thank you. Do you all have the booklets? Natalie, I don't see you holding one. Have we run short of them? I think, don't we have some more copies there? Do we have? So just be patient a bit. No. Here. Kindly bear with us, just be a bit patient. Wacha niondoke. Mimi niko kwa picha hiyo. Are we done? I think we are okay. Thank you very much. Now, the other partners who are remaining, if you consider yourself a partner, please, one or two of you I think are still there. Charles, Salma, Sada, and any other person. Lisa, you are not in this group, Lisa? Why? No, hold on. Charles, please, let's allow the speakers first. Lisa, you have to pay a small fine for not joining the team. Please, any speaker who is still out there, please come and join the team. Thank you very much. Charles and the rest can join, please. Sada. After this, we are going to have the team that came up with this document. Please move forward. Get ready. The team will have the photo with the SPS only. So thank you very much. I think if you are ready, kindly take your seats, honorable dignitaries. We leave Mr. Kemo with the team. The team, please move forward. The task force. Natalia, you have to stand next to the boss. These booklets are for free. If anybody has asked you for money, please report him or her. So, Mr. Kemo, you are still here. Next, the deputy directors will be the last ones. Regional heads, quickly, please. Regional heads who are here, quickly, please. After the regional heads, please, county heads also come quickly. First, with the regional heads only, Mr. Ayodo. Madam, you will have time with him out there. Regional heads, please, quickly. Thank you very much. County heads, please. No. You are all going to be arranged here. You don't need to come to the main dais. Mr. Kamila, utapanga watu. Oh, okay. Some can come to the stage. I think there was one county head who did not introduce herself. I think she sneaked in late. She is right here. Your corner was not introduced. This is Sarah Ogweno. She's the head of Busia County. Just in case somebody asked about that intruder. After the county heads, may I kindly ask the rest of the ODPP staff to come and join SPS. And thereafter we'll have the deputy directors. Please hurry up, the ODPP staff, please. Jen? Yes. Abby, please hurry up. Absalam? Quickly, please. Madam Jen, you're a deputy director. Kaa huko kidogo kando, please. My apologies. So next, deputy directors, kindly, quickly. Deputy directors in the house. Dorcas? Yes, even if you're a regional coordinator and you're a deputy director, just come. Thank you very much. And lastly, the senior deputy directors, please. Senior deputy directors. That marks the end of our function this morning, and I wish to thank each and every one of you for making this successful event. Now, I've been informed that we have snacks there. There are some cakes and some eggs and tea and coffee out there, which we have to take because they are there for us. Those of us who can be patient enough can remain behind so that you can also have lunch at the appropriate time. So I think the choice is ours. Either we wait for the lunch or we go for the snacks and decide what to do thereafter. But for now, I want to welcome you all to partake the snacks that have been laid out there for us. But before that, of course, we are going to have a vote of thanks and a closing prayer. At this point, may I kindly call upon Mr. Joseph Riungu to come and give a vote of thanks. Riungu is in charge of the economic. Can you name that department, Mr. Riungu?
Good afternoon, all. Mr. Hassan is in charge of insurance and quality department. Should ably be knowing that name of the department. But as he has indicated, the department is International Economic and Organized Crimes Department. So my singular role this afternoon is to convey a vote of thanks on behalf of the Director of Public Prosecutions. However, just before I do that, it is good that we step out of this room with takeaways. Mr. Monda told us that international cooperation is mandatory. Mr. Monda also told us about PACA. I would wish to clarify what Mr. Monda didn't clarify. PACA is not cut. So I know we are all in agreement that this has been a beautiful event with the launch. So first and foremost, closely. I'd also want to thank the committee that had sleepless nights ensuring that we have had these guidelines which have culminated into the launch that you have just had. And also, lastly, we also want to thank the team. I've realized that the protocol team is always forgotten. Have they not done a beautiful and good job? The room is very beautiful. We want to thank and appreciate also the facility and the hotel. I also want to thank all of you for really looking very smart. I also want to thank the Odpp fraternity that has found time. I know many of you have traveled and have come from far, including Garissa and far-flung areas, so we really want to appreciate it and acknowledge your presence here. The takeaway is that, as Mr. Monda has indicated, the rubber now is to meet the road. Lastly, I have a confession and thanking the chief guest. You know, when you are here, as I indicated to you earlier, it's good that I make this confession. when I was doing my pupillage, Mr. Hassan, the office that I was working, Justice Kanyi Kimondo was practicing in the next office. And I remember then he was Mr. Now he's judge, used to come and tell me, Mr. Ryungu, make sure you're having peanuts when you're drafting pleadings. I've never forgotten, and Justice, I can confirm that up to today, when I'm drafting and also before I go to court, I ensure that I have peanuts to be able to make submissions and prosecute. Mr. Hassan, our MC, thank you. You've made the launch also to be quite conducive and quite alert. And we thank also the media fraternity, the Fourth Estate, also for covering this event. We also acknowledge and we appreciate you on behalf of the Director of Public Prosecutions and on behalf of the Odpp fraternity. So mine is to wish you Godspeed and God bless us all. Thank you very much. Asante.
Thank you, Mr. Ryungu. In the few times I have come to your office, I haven't seen any peanuts. Mr. Kimondo, perhaps you need to file an application for contempt because he's defying some orders. There's a special request, Mr. Kemosa, from the media for purposes, I think, of doing their work, that they need about 3 or 4 people. How many people did you say? Mr. David? 3, 4. So may I kindly ask you to come here together with Natalia, Jennifer, and Lisa. Maybe